Enchanted fam, welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. So you're probably thinking, Rita, why are you posting on the weekend? You never post on the weekend anymore. It's not my schedule, but I feel like I just had to kind of get this video out there. If you're brand new here, my name is Rita and I post all kinds of Disney related content as well as lifestyle content, including things with my corgis. Disneyland is my home park, just so you guys have a reference of where I'm located. I am in Southern California. And if you guys are returning, then welcome back. Hi guys, I love you. I feel like I just got to get this video up because all the news is coming out about Disneyland opening. So I posted on my Insta story as well on my YouTube community tab, asking if you guys wanted me to film this video for you guys about extending your annual pass and like Disneyland info in general. And I got a good amount of people. I'd say probably like a little over 70 people who said like, yes, I want to see a video. So these are for you guys and anyone else who finds this video. So first things first, I'll just give you a little bit of like general information and then we'll move into the extending of the annual passes. So Disneyland released probably like 2-ish days ago now, 2 to 3 days ago now, that there is a proposed opening of the parks, which is super exciting. And just want to throw it out there. This is not going to be about whether I think it's good that they're opening, it's bad that they're opening, it's too soon, and I don't really want the comments to be about that, so let's just not talk about that, okay? This is just the fact that there's a proposed plan and this is kind of what's going on. I just feel like I had to put that out there because I know there's going to be people in the comments about how it's not good that they're opening, which is a whole nother topic, which is not the topic I'm talking about. I'm just giving you guys the information I know and helping anyone who has an annual pass that may need to extend it, and if you're interested in going to the parks anytime soon. All right, that's out of the way. So they announced that the Downtown Disney is going to be opening July 9th, proposed to be opening July 9th. The Disneyland Parks, which is California Adventure and Disneyland, is proposed to open July 17th. And then on July 23rd, it is proposed for the hotels to be opening up, not including Disneyland Hotel. And I keep saying proposed because I just want you guys to know that it is proposed, which means state and local agencies do have to approve this proposal. So it's not a for sure thing, but it is a proposal. That's out of the way. So that's really exciting. It's coming up. It's super like close. Just a few things that Disneyland did release, and I got all of this from pretty much the Disneyland website or the Disney Parks blog website. So they're all official sites. They are going to be doing a ton of, you know, not ton of changes, but little changes here and there that's just going to help with this whole COVID situation. So I know that they're going to have a reduced capacity. I don't know the exact percentage. I have read lots of articles about how 50% is not really that great. It should be closer to 25%. So I don't know what the percentage is going to be. I just know there's going to be a reduced capacity for sure. They also did release that everybody will have to make a reservation to get into the park. So that's including all annual pass holders, not just flex pass, but if you have a normal annual pass, you will have to make a reservation, and regular guests as well. I do have printouts of some stuff from the website, so I am going to read you that kind of verbiage, so you know I'm not just making it up. So on the Disneyland website, it does have a statement here that says, we will manage attendance through a new theme park reservation system that will require all guests, including annual pass holders, to obtain a reservation for park entry in advance. So keep that in mind. There's going to be some kind of a reservation system and everyone's required to use that system just so they can control capacity. How that's going to completely work has not been released yet, but that's just kind of what we know so far. In terms of social distancing and all of that, I know that parades or fireworks, anything that draws like a big crowd, for now is not gonna start. So that's gonna happen later on. That's not gonna be in the initial reopening phase. There are gonna be characters, but it's gonna be a little bit different from kind of what I saw in Disney Springs in Orlando. Was like they had like stormtroopers on the top of like the buildings, so you can kind of see them, but you couldn't get too close with them or take pictures. I'm probably thinking it's going to be something like that. Like the characters are going to be out and about, but they're going to be in a place where, you know, kids or people can't just run to try to take photos with them. So I'm guessing that's probably how it's going to work. in terms of if you had tickets already. So I kind of want to mention this really quick before we get into annual passes. If you've already purchased, so it says if you've purchased any unused multi-day tickets or for a future visit, then you're able to go. And if you've purchased like any promotional California resident tickets, the expiration date will be extended until December 16th, 2021. If you purchase any kind of other kind of promotional ticket, for the most part, it's all going to be extended until December 2021. I will leave the exact link from what I'm reading in the description so you guys can get more detailed information. But overall, all those kinds of tickets are being pretty much extended, so you have more time to use them if you didn't want to go at all this year. Just because the parks are opening does not mean you have to go to the parks. Just remember that. I'm not going to get too much into like vacation packages because I feel like that's a little bit more complex. From just kind of reading briefly, what I understand is they're being pretty lenient with vacation packages in terms of being able to cancel, modify, change, and all of that. So look at the link that I'm going to have in the description for you because they do give a little bit more information on that. So with all of the tickets being said, they also did have a statement that says here, at this time, we are also temporarily pausing new ticket sales and annual passport sales and renewals. So basically, you won't really be able to buy any annual pass now, renew your annual pass if it's already expired, and buy like a day ticket kind of thing. This is kind of what this statement says as of right now. So now let's jump into annual passes, just so I know most of you are probably here for that, so I just wanted to give you that information. If you pay your annual pass in full, so you're not on a monthly plan, but if you pay your annual pass in full, then your annual pass automatically got extended. So you do not have to call to extend it. You are fine. With that though, if you actually wanted to get a refund, so let's say you're like, you know what, it's not worth it for me, like I don't even want to go the rest of the year, I don't really want it to be extended, and you want like a partial refund from the time that, you know, the parks closed up until whenever like your expiration was, I'm sure they're going to prorate it in that sense, then you will have to call so you can get that partial refund. So once again, that's if you pay your annual pass in full, and that is for any annual pass. It doesn't matter which one you get. I will have the number in the description box below for you guys so you can access that right away. The next thing is if you've paid your annual pass on a monthly basis. So this one's kind of important, you guys. There was a kind of a freak and a scare at first when they released on the Disney Parks blog about no annual pass renewals and stuff like that. I figured that's it, like it's not going to get extended. So if you're paying on a monthly basis, most likely what has happened, because it happened to me and they released statements and sent out emails about it, was you got your March payment refunded to you. So I believe unless you call to tell them not to refund it to you, then they did. So they automatically refunded like any payment that was processed from like, I think it was like mid-March, the very beginning of April, that time window, they refunded people all of those payments, and then they stopped monthly payments. So that's kind of what has happened up until this point. Now during this time, you had the opportunity to call the annual pass customer service number and tell them like, no, I want my payments paused, but as soon as the parks open, I want to continue my monthly payments and extend it. So basically your expiration date will be extended from your original expiration date up until however many days the park has been closed. So that's kind of what was going on at that point. Now, currently, because Disneyland has released a park opening, like a proposed opening date, they also announced that statement I told you where it was like no annual pass renewal. There was also some statement that kind of went with like no extensions as well, so I got really freaked out, and I called that annual pass customer service number like right away as soon as I found out. And the line was busy, you guys. Like, it didn't even ring. So I had tried to extend it before they even announced it, but every time I was always on hold for like 40 minutes, an hour, and I just always gave up. And so this time I'm like, no, I'm motivated to get my pass renewed because it expires like in the beginning of July. So always on hold, or always on like a busy signal, didn't even go through. And then the same day that it was announced, which I want to say it was like on either the 9th or something, the 9th or the 10th, one of those days, June 9th or 10th, it was announced. So I called like at 8 o'clock at night and the phones were already closed, so a message finally popped up and it said like, due to recent operating hours being announced, the new like hours of operation for the customer service number was 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. So just so you guys know, those are the new hours. And so I called the next day right at 8 a.m. So right when the park, the phone lines opened, I called at 8 a.m. Already a busy signal, you guys. So that's how crazy it's been. So I finally just kind of kept calling, and I finally got through. And what I mean by got through was it just wasn't a busy signal. It actually rang and it gave me the whole spiel. It's gonna ask you a couple questions like why you're calling, in a sense, and one of them is like to modify or to extend your pass, something like that. So I clicked that, and then I was on hold for exactly an hour and 58 minutes, so pretty much 2 hours. I finally got on the phone with somebody, and she told me on a normal circumstance, before the park hours or park dates were announced, she was able to extend the pass for me. She said, but now that operating hours are announced, I no longer have the option to extend it for you. You have to call our monthly payment department. So there's a new number to call, which actually I don't think is posted anywhere, but just for you guys, my Enchanted fam, I'm gonna give you guys that number so you don't have to go through 2 hours waiting of customer service for them to give you this number. So I'm gonna put the number here, and I'm also gonna put the number in the description box below. And so that's the number you're gonna call. She did try to transfer me, but it just hung up on me, so I called on my own. I was on hold for I think an hour and 10 minutes, finally got through to somebody. And this is the important part, you guys. From my understanding and from how the first cast member kind of told me was, I don't think they're extending everybody's annual pass. I really believe that they're looking at your annual pass account and kind of judging it from there. So, because she even said it, she's like, oh, they could look into extending it. They have to check your account. And the first question that the monthly payment cast member, like from that department, that cast member asked me was to give her obviously my name. I don't remember what was the other, either my email or something else to look me up, right? So she looks me up and she's like, okay, just give me a few minutes while I check your account. So I'm guessing they're probably checking to make sure like you haven't had any late payments. There's no like, you know, anything on your record that you're a, you know, a bad annual pass holder, because there are some out there. And if you guys didn't know, they do track stuff with your annual pass. So I'm thinking that's kind of what they were doing. So anyways, so she came back to me and she's like, oh yeah, you're good to go for an extension. However, and this is the big however, you guys, and I need to like make this clear. They had to charge me back that March payment. So remember how I told you in the beginning that they refunded everybody that March payment? Unless you called. I think unless you called and said like, no, I don't want to refund it because I want to extend it, then I think this doesn't apply to you. But if you got that refunded, they're gonna charge you back for that March payment. I'm not entirely sure why. I think it's just because they still were gonna get that money, like the parks were open like mid-July or mid-March, I'm sorry guys, mid-March. So you're gonna get charged that monthly payment for your March payment for them, in order for them to extend it. So just keep that in mind, okay? So that's what she did. She asked me, you want me to charge you for the March so your pass can get extended? I said yes. So that's exactly what happened. I did that for my pass. I did that for Robert's pass. So we are extended. She could not give me my new expiration date because, again, it's a proposed opening and your extension date is based off of however many days the park is closed for, right? So if they technically don't open July 17th, let's say, then it may get pushed back more. So it just depends from your original expiration date, and then you add up however many days the park was closed for. That's what's gonna be extended. I also asked her I tried to get some information from her about like how the reservations are gonna work. All she really told me was they are giving priority to people who have like some kind of vacation package or like advanced tickets that they've purchased, and then to annual pass holders. So because you can't really buy new tickets, so it's not like they're not giving priority to people who are new, it's just they're not really selling new tickets. So first priority from my understanding is going to people who have bought in like vacation packages or staying at the hotels or have advanced tickets that were purchased with maybe like a specified date range, and then to annual pass holders. So that is kind of all the information I got from her. So I think that's all the information I have for you guys. I do know also that Disneyland will have reduced park hours. So I don't think they're gonna go back to their normal hours. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a reduced amount of hours. I'm very excited that they're opening. I'm a little nervous as well, but I feel confident that Disney is gonna do everything they can to keep the safety of both the cast members and people. And my thought process in this is that I probably, especially if they're going to do a really reduced capacity of people, the parks are going to feel pretty empty, I feel like, if it's pretty reduced in the park capacity. And I feel like I run into more people in a smaller space at the grocery store than I would at Disneyland with such open space, you know what I mean, like with less people. So I feel like, I don't know, my chances of getting it are probably just as high if I just go to the market, which I do. So that's kind of my thought process on this right now. You guys have to let me know what you think. Please don't come at me with like strong opinions on whether the park should be opened or closed. I don't really want to go into that, but more so if you guys have an annual pass, how it's worked out for you. If you need an extension, did you get an extension? How was your experience? I had a 3-hour wait to get this thing, but I got mine extended. If you have any questions or any additional information that's informative to anyone, including myself, please leave it in the comments below. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.